Okay, this will be the day 3 of Unit 3 for Algebra 1. Today we're going to start talking about slope, okay, slopes of lines. Okay, there's 4 types of slope of a line. Lines will look like one of these 3 ways. Okay, slopes like this have positive slope. Slopes like this have negative slope. Okay, now the last 2 ones are the ones that are usually confusing. If you draw a little person on here, okay, all right, which person could not stand on the line unless they had some kind of suction cup feet or they were a superhero? This one, they would fall. This one would not be possible. This is called undefined slope. This slope here is called zero slope. It just means it's flat. Okay? Now, there is a slope formula that if you have 2 points, okay, you have a slope formula that says y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay? Or let's do it this way. I'll explain why in a second. Actually, we'll go 1, 1, 2. Okay? All right, now, someone's going to say, Mr. Evans, do we have to memorize that slope formula? Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a little trick to remember the slope formula. The slope formula always has a minus and a minus between it. You can always put that down. Some of you guys aren't old enough yet, but eventually you will learn how to drive. Okay? And when you drive, you put your hands at 10 and 2. Okay? All right? Now, we're going to pretend like the point is our steering wheel. Okay? And when I do the slope formula, I just have to turn my wheel to the left. So think about this. If I turn my wheel to the left, the y1 would be at this hand and the x1 would be there. That's how that goes. Okay, for the next part, I would take this, turn it left, y2 and x2. Okay, so let me give you some examples. Okay, all right, let's go over some examples. Let's say I had 7, 8, 5, 12. Okay. Let's do 4, 9, negative 6, 7. Okay, and then let's do negative 8, 4, and negative 8, 3. Okay, now, once again, if I was trying to find the slope of those 2 coordinate points, once again, I go minus and minus. I take my wheel, turn it left. So what's going to happen? The 8 will be up here. The 7 would be down here if it was my wheel. 5 and 12. So it would be 12 up there, 5 there. So just turn your wheel. Okay? Now it's simple subtraction. 8 minus 12 would be negative 4. 7 minus 5 would be 2. Okay? Use your calculator. The big thing with slope is negative 4 over 2. That's going to be negative 2 for my slope. Okay? This one, minus and minus. Turn the wheel. 9 would be there. 4 would be there. Turn the wheel. 7 and negative 6. Okay, so I'm gonna do 9 minus 7. 2. Okay. 4 minus negative 6. 10. And if I divide those in the calculator, I get a decimal. For slopes, I want fractions if I have decimals. So I hit the fraction and decimal button. That's 1/5. Okay? All right? Let's go ahead and do this one. All right? I got, let's turn the wheel. I got 4 and negative 8. Okay? Turn the wheel. 3 and negative 8. 4 minus 3 is 1. Let's figure out what negative 8 minus negative 8 is. 0. Okay? 1 divided by 0. Now watch what your calculator says. Error. This is your undefined slope. Okay? if for, let's say I would have had 0 over 1. Let me show you how that works. That's different. 0 divided by 1 is just 0. So there is a difference. When you get that error, okay, that's what you're going to do, okay? All right? When you get that error, that's what you're going to do. All right? So let me give you guys a couple to try on your own. Okay? All right? I would like you to find the slope. Okay? We're going to do -5, -1, 10, -6. Okay? We're going to do let's say 8, -4. Let's go 10, 8, -18. And then let's go 7, 2, and 3, 2. I would like you to pause your video and go ahead and find those slopes. Okay? Go ahead and unpause. Okay? So I got minus and minus. Turn the wheel. -1, -5. Turn the wheel. -6 and 10. Okay? Use your calculator. -1 minus -6 is 5. Okay? -5 minus 10. -15. So 5 over -15. Once again, I'm going to use my calculator. Do the division. 5 divided by -15. I get this crazy decimal. I want to hit that and get my fraction of -1/3. Okay? Minus and minus. Let's turn the wheel. I got -4 and 8. Turn the wheel. -18 and 10. Okay? -4 minus -18 is 14. 8 minus 10 is -2. 14 divided by -2 is -7. Okay? Last one. Let's turn the wheel. 2 and 7. Turn the wheel. 2 and 3. That's going to be 0 over 4. Let's check that in the calculator. That's 0. Okay? That's not undefined for that one, because you actually will get an answer for that. Okay? All right, now, let's move on to finding the slope with the graph. All right, we want to find the slope. Here's what we're going to do. Okay? We're going to label our points. Okay? Now, if they give you a dot, you can always use the dot. All right? If you ever look at this, if it's a grid space, there's a couple ways you can label the point. If the line crosses a grid, you can do that. And then you could also look at the X and Y axis, okay, the intercepts. But in this case, this would be -2 over 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's -2, 4. This is 1 over 1, 2, 3 down, 1, -3, okay? So I'm going to turn the wheel, 4, -2. Turn the wheel, -3, 1. Okay? All right, so 4 minus -3 is 7, okay? And -2 minus 1 is -3. And if I divide that in the calculator, hit that fraction, it's the same deal, okay? And that makes sense. A negative slope, that we should expect that for that line. That's a way you know you're correct, okay? All right, here we go. Now, I look at this, I don't really like that because that's sort of a fraction, and that's, you know, I could use that, but I see these good points here at grid spaces. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, so that's -3, -2. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, so 5, 2. So I'm going to use those, okay? Now, someone's going to ask, Mr. Evans, does it matter what point goes first? No, because the slope formula, if you always turn left, you're good, okay? So -2, -3 when I turn it, 2 and 5. Big thing, don't guess on the arithmetic. -2 minus 2 is -4, okay? -3 minus 5 is -8. If I divide these two in the calculator, I get +1/2. And that makes sense based off my line. All right? Okay, now, if I look at this one, I could use a lot of different points, but I like these ones that are right at the axis. This is 4 over 0 up. This is 0 over 4 up, okay? All right, so once again, turn the wheel, 4 and 0. Turn the wheel, 0 and 4. 4 minus 0 would be 4. 0 minus 4 would be negative 4. If I divide those in the calculator, I get negative 1. Okay? Pretty easy stuff there. Okay? All right? Let's do one more together. Now, when I look at this, I'm given 2 points here. Okay? 1, 2, 3, negative 1. And then this will be negative 3, about 7. Okay? Now, there's actually 2 options on how you could do this problem. Let me see how much time I have. Okay? I can look at it, but if I do the slope formula, turn the wheel, 7, negative 3. Turn the wheel, negative 1, negative 3. Okay, I'm going to use my calculator. 7 negative minus negative 1 is 8. Okay? Negative 3 minus negative 3 is 0. If I divide 8 by 0, I get undefined. Okay? So I get that error. I could have also known just by looking at it. So the undefined and the 0, okay, are pretty easy to see. Okay? So in your Go formative, there are 4 more questions. So what you should do is if you're just doing the video, you can just pause the video. I'll do a question, pause it, you do it, pause, etc. Okay? So for this one, I would label this point. This is 1, 2, 3, negative 5. This is 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Turn in the wheel. Okay, negative 5, negative 3. Turn the wheel, 7, 1. Okay, so that's negative 12. Negative 3 minus 1 would be negative 4. If I divide negative 12 divided by negative 4, I get positive 3. And that should make sense based off my line. Okay? All right, this one, I don't like these intercepts, but these points are good here. Negative 6, 2. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 4, negative 4. Okay, once again, turn the wheel. 2, negative 6, turn the wheel. Negative 4, 4. Okay, all right, so 2 minus negative 4 is 6. Negative 6 minus 4 is negative 10. If I divide those, 6 divided by negative 10, in the calculator I get negative 3/5. Okay? And that's going to be my answer there. All right? This one, I could use a bunch of different points, but I like these right here on the axis. This would be 0 over 6 up. This would be negative 4 over 0 up. Once again, turn the wheel. 0, negative 4, so I turn that one, turn that one. 0 minus 6 is negative 6. Negative 4 minus 0 is negative 4. Let's divide those in the calculator. I get 3 over 2. Okay? And I think this is the last one. All right, this would be negative 4, 5. This would be 2, 5. Let's turn the wheel. 5, negative 4. 5, 2. 5 minus 5 is 0. Negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. Let's see what that says in the calculator. That's a result of 0. Okay? So that is our lesson, our day 3 lesson on slope. You will use the slope formula your whole math career. So just remember, take the wheel, turn it left. That's how you do slope.